All right, guys, so we're going to talk today about why it's so hard to find motivation to work out. I'm going to go all in on this topic because this is one of my favorite topics, and it's so important to me because at the end of the day, the biggest thing I want to do at the end of this video is provoke you to go do the thing you know you should be doing, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to help you understand what is motivation, why you need it, and what type of motivation is going to actually drive you to do the thing you want. Now, the first thing I have to say is that when it comes to working out and having a consistent program, not only should you have goals, you should be planning, you got to be disciplined, and you got to find a way to stay committed, right? But at the end of the day, when we start talking about motivation really is this feeling or this drive to achieve a goal and to get things done, to maintain it so you can achieve the goal. And a lot of times people call this desire. And to be honest with you, you look at people and you go, they're motivated, but really at the end of the day, you see somebody doing something, you see somebody maybe saying something, they might feel a certain way, but those days that we know that are the hard ones where you're just like, I don't feel like doing anything, that's not the reason why that person or the people that you see around you do it. So let's talk about that right now. I would say this, at the end of the day, when we start talking about motivation, there's two types of motivation. I'm gonna keep it simple, right? There's an internal motivation, there's an external motivation. And a lot of times when you start talking about these two types of motivation is external motivation, you're like, I just want to lose weight, and this might be like one of those, either the carrot or the stick, right? You put the carrot out there, wanting to see where you can lose the weight, or the stick, like you got to do this, you either got to go work out, and if you don't work out, you're going to get fat. These are the two different ways that people might use external motivation, right? The other thing's talking about like looking good in a bathing suit, looking good with your shirt taken off. You want to lose weight so that you can go to your high school reunion, different things like that. Even getting a flatter stomach, getting abs, whatever those things are, fitting in your jeans, into a dress, whatever they are, right? They're external things. These are things that are external things that you can see. And unfortunately, these things aren't deep enough to get you to be motivated to continue doing things, because at the end of the day, the kind of motivation you're going to feel or you're going to need is deeper. External things are just a little too vague. But these things like getting into these jeans or whatever else, those are good. They're not bad. They're just not deep enough. And they actually will serve a purpose to support internal motivation. And really, when we start thinking about internal motivation, the biggest thing about that is you start talking about things like, I exercise because it helps me feel good. I love running. I love cycling. I love weightlifting. I love, whatever the type of exercise, if it's playing basketball, handball, whatever you want to do, these things are going to be things that motivate you internally because you enjoy doing them. Working out helps you relieve stress. At the end of the day, you feel good when your body's stronger, and you do more because at the end of the day, you feel better. So these things will actually get you there. And at the end of the day, one of the biggest things is like you exercise because it gives you more time to think. It gives you into a zone, gets you to zone out. So for me, those are some big points. Like I love going to the gym, especially when I got a lot going on and I need to focus a little bit better. By the time I get in the gym and I'm in my zone and I kind of shut out everything, like I feel like things become a lot brighter, a lot more focused, a lot more prominent for me based on what I need to do. And I feel better about doing that. And those things will drive you. Those things will be like, when you walk out of the gym and you're going to start your day, for me, because I work out in the morning, like I just really feel good about getting out and doing those things. So the difference really comes down to it is that external things are fleeting and internal things, motivation, are the staying power. Those are the things that keep you there. Those are the things that keep you driven. Those are the things that keep pushing you. And that's where we start to really understand, like, what motivation do you need? Now, will external motivation help you? Yeah, like times where you're, maybe thinking about skipping the gym, you could be like, oh, if I don't go to the gym right now, I ain't gonna fit into that dress, or the reunion's coming, I gotta get this day in, I can't make up this day another day, and you go, right? But at the end of the day, if it's stuff like where you're talking about staying consistent, being excited about going after it, like the internal things are the things that are so important. And I also talk about this a lot because I think that a lot of times the reason why people fail in terms of pursuing their fitness goals is because they're only focusing on external things. They're focusing on external motivation. Everything has to do with weight, the scale, the way you look in the mirror, all that kind of stuff. Where the reality is the thing that needs to change the most is the internal things. And so we start talking about internal motivation, that's a big part. So why are we not motivated to exercise? And now this is huge, right? Now, if you really think about it, like nowadays that we've gotten so fancy with technology, we are more sedentary, right? Our jobs are more sedentary. Our lifestyle is more sedentary. We're watching TV, we're sitting around, even if you're like someone who commutes a lot and driving your car a lot, you're just so used to like chilling. You're so used to like relaxing and not being able to move. So getting your body to move is a lot harder. And so those things are a big reason why you don't feel motivated. The other one is like just being overweight, right? And it doesn't mean you have to be extremely overweight, but the fact is that it's just a little harder for you, right? Having more weight, it's a little harder for you to exercise. You're going to have a little bit more pain in your joints when you exercise. Because you're a little larger, it's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable and a little more intimidating for you to do the movements in an exercise. So that's going to be another part. So the biggest thing you have to look at is really looking at like, what are these things that are causing me not to be motivated? The other one is just having a busy lifestyle. Like you're hustling, you're grinding every day, you're doing the work that you need to do. But at the end of the day, by the time you do all these things, you're like, I don't want to go to the gym. Like, I'm done working. I don't want to work out. I just want to relax. And it's a good reason for you because you're so busy, right? So that's probably a big excuse and a big reason why most people don't work out. But I'm too busy to work out. What I want to get to is like, these are things that you have to really look at and figure like, these are reasons why you're not as motivated. Stress is another one. Access to a workout facility, even if it's if it's a gym or community center, the fact that I train and coach people across the country, there's a lot of times where like I'm in Southern California and the bottom line is like I got gyms all around me. Like literally I can just think of like 5 gyms right now on the way to my gym to go to and that are within like, I don't know, 5 to 10 miles. And so, that's a big part. And a lot of people don't have access to that. And so, yeah, you may have to build something in your home or whatever else, but that's another reason why you're just motivated because you just don't have it. The other one, which I think is probably really, really enlightening if you think about it, is your neighborhood being safe. Like, is your neighborhood safe for you to go for a walk or a run or go cycle, right? Do you have that access? Is there things for you to do like that? And then one of the things I think is really important is that the people around you, like there's other people around you doing those things, that stuff will motivate you, but not having that could be another reason why you're not motivated because you don't have access to that. So what I think is really important is that the world we live in right now, the exercise is so much easier to have access to because, like myself being an online fitness coach, like I do everything online. There's other programs out there that are on demand. There's apps, there's live streaming, there's a bunch of ways to exercise. So we really don't have to rely on, health clubs, traditional gyms, studios and stuff like that, because you can do a lot of these things from home, which most of my clients do that. I mean, yeah, they invest in some equipment. Some have some fully built out gyms. Some just have the equipment they need to do the workout they need. And that's enough. And they lose weight, they get healthier, they're happy. And they love the fact that it's so much easier for them because they can do it in a process and the way they structure their day and it doesn't create more time, which is really nice, right? So one of the things I would say is that when it comes down to it, having motivation you're working out is a big deal. Now, as I'm going through this right now, if you're watching this, let me know like what barrier, do you have in terms of what makes you not feel motivated? What I want to do now though is I want to start talking about the mental barriers of motivation, fitness motivation. And there's a few of them, right? Fear is one of the biggest ones. And fear comes down to is that it's because you're doing something you've never done before, or you're going back to doing something that you haven't done for a long time and really not knowing what to do. It's easy to skip the gym. It's easy to skip doing the routines. It's easy to not do it because it's fear and you have a good reason. You just don't feel comfortable doing those things. The other one is confusion. And this is how much exercise do I need? Like you're sitting here and sometimes it's like, where do I start? How much do I do? And it's because you can't make a decision. You're kind of like paralyzed and you never do anything. So when you have fear and confusion, these things lead to the fact that, these are mental barriers because there's access to things out there. And this is one of those things. Okay. One of the bigger ones, which I think is really enlightening, is the fact is pain and suffering, right? It's like exercise is a physical exertion, like you're going to work your body, but some people it can be discomforting. And one of the things I can say is that when you're not used to working out, it could feel like it's pain and suffering and have another reason to skip the exercise, like completely skip working out. Is be like, oh, I don't feel good. My legs hurt. They're hurting. And they feel so bad. You just feel like it's not helping you. But the reality is like, that's another mental barrier. Your body's going to feel a certain way because you're putting yourself in a situation. Now, of course, you need to listen to your body, but that's another mental reason to hold you back. Two other things is boredom. And that's really simple, like doing things you don't like to do, doing things that are boring. And sometimes exercising is boring. You got to mix it up a little bit, right? Find the thing that you want to do. You don't have to do what everyone else does. You just need to do things you love and do it consistently, and that will help get you some results. And sometimes because you're able to do those things, maybe you'll find yourself more excited to do other things. But once you start to build a habit of exercising, doing something that's fun, that's the thing that's going to keep you going, right? So that, and the last thing I think is frustration. I think too many people work out to lose weight, and they only realize that the progress is very, very slow. And in the process of knowing that this progress is very slow, most people will quit and give up. You're looking at the weight scale, which is the wrong thing, another external thing, and it's frustrating. So I think when it really comes down to it is like, we really have to understand that these mental barriers are really causing us a big issue. So let's get to this, and let me get to this, is how do we get motivated to exercise? And I wanted to say this, I think when we start thinking about it, motivation never just happens, right? And I want to say you just have to make it happen. And I know this sounds kind of cheesy, but yes, you just have to make it happen. And this is the time I want to say, I've always asked the question to people, I said, which comes first? Action or motivation or action? Which one comes first? And most people say they look for motivation first. And I said, no, I really believe that. And I hear it from people all the time. They say, man, when I didn't want to go to the gym, but I made myself go. Like I just made it happen. And when I got in the gym, I felt so good. I feel so motivated. I really worked hard. I probably had the best workout of my life, or one of the best workouts. And I left the gym feeling great. To me, the thing is like once you take the action will give you the motivation. You'll feel better. And again, of course, if you're doing things that you enjoy. And so what I want to say is like, when it comes down to it for myself, like there's days I go to the gym, I have like, just like this week, I had a 99% recovery and I love that. And I go to the gym and I know I'm about to tear it up and I felt good. But there's other days where I'm tired, my body's recovered, but I'm just tired and I don't want to go. But I remind myself of the things that are important to me. I've had tons of injuries, okay? Which number one, if I don't work out, those things start to hurt. Second thing is that there's a level of accountability. Like I want to be a man, I'm going to practice what I preach and I'm going to be an example, a model of what I coach. And I'm going to show up when I need to show up. Yeah. Am I going to rest when I need to rest? Yes. But I'm not going to build a habit beyond telling myself, no, don't go to the gym. I'm tired. I don't want to go. I go. I also realize that my 43-year-old self is helping my 63-year-old self 20 years from now be healthy, right? I want to build muscle. I want to be strong. I want to build an ingrained lifestyle habit. So by the time I get older, I'm still doing things that are going to allow me to have muscle so I can be able to have longevity, have muscle so I can do the things that I want to do. And number two, it just be like so easy because it's a habit, like brushing my teeth. I've been brushing my teeth my whole life. I want to be working out and active my whole life as much as I possibly can. So those are things that motivate me. And so when you start to look at what motivation, what you need, you got to set your environment up so that it motivates you. And there's some things you can do. So make it easier to exercise. If going to the gym, getting up and it's cold and getting to the gym is too much, let's build a place. Let's create some space in your house. All you gotta do is clear out some space. Doesn't have to be a huge amount of space, maybe 10 by 10 or even less than that. And all you need is, if you don't have any weights, is just maybe have a mat. On top of that, maybe have couple dumbbells and some exercise bands. If also too, like if you're someone, you're like, hey, I only have so much time to get in the gym. Well, before you go to bed, instead of waking up trying to figure out what you're going to wear, put your workout clothes on. That's one way. Or put them near your bed so you can just get up and put your clothes on and make less time so you can get to the gym. The bottom line is figuring out what is going to be the best way for you and creating that environment. Find something you like. I think the biggest part about finding something you like is the fact that you will feel excited about doing it, not only because you can do it and you love doing it. And that's a big part in making sure that you don't forget to do it, that you don't have an excuse not to do it, because you're going to look forward to it. It's not going to feel hard for you. It's not going to feel like something you're pressing yourself. It's going to be much easier for you to stay active. And because you're doing something active, you're burning calories, you're getting out there, you're moving, you're doing exactly what you need to do to help your weight loss goal. I think there's things where you start to really look at it. It's like you might even have to get to a point where you need to find some support. And this might be the time where you get a workout buddy. This might be the time where you're look for coaching so you can have accountability. Like these might be the things you have to put in place for you to be motivated and for you to continue to work through. I tell my clients like when we start to look at where you are and where you want to go, we create this golden bridge. That golden bridge, I stand between that because I want to help guide you and coach you across that, because there's going to be days where the old habits or that lack of motivation is going to be there, and it's not motivating you. It's reminding you of the internal things that are important to you so that you can continue moving forward. And I think the biggest thing is as you start to find these things, you get some support, you start doing the things you like. I mean, really when it comes down to it, you're finding an easier way to get to the gym and to exercise. The next thing you could do is experiment. Look for new things, try different things. Put yourself in a place where you're outside the box. I think then the interest of learning something new would excite you, knowing that it could be something you could enjoy because you've never done it. That might be a great thing, and it could give you a permission to do those things and feel a little better about your fitness journey. Like if you're doing something, you're bored, try something new. Put yourself in a place, go, like if you're a person that lifts, maybe go try a cycling class, maybe go do a yoga class. There could be different things you can do. Pick up a game, play handball, whatever it is, go try it out, go experiment and see if you like it. But the biggest thing I think is when it comes down to it, just to make sure that you're creating an environment that's going to be motivating, is stay flexible. Stay flexible, making sure that every day you may have something different you can do. Not, like I found myself going to the gym, lifting, but I'm an athlete. I like jumping. I like running. I like changing directions. I like plyometrics. I like all these things. So being able to then change it up every day, but have a consistency in what I do allows me to have that level of flexibility. And one of the things I'll tell you, which I think as you get more disciplined and you start to figure out like what drives you and keeps you motivated, I also like rewarding myself. For me, rewarding myself is like buying new gym clothes, brand new shoes. Some people like to, have cheat days, stuff like that. Whatever that case is, maybe it's a massage, maybe it's, a warm bath. I don't know, the things that, you can do, like making time for yourself so that you rewarded yourself for these things. That's another really good way of creating a really good environment. But really the biggest thing is that what I have to say is that you just have to keep going. Right? When it comes to motivation, usually after a few weeks after you started your program, like the motivation flags, like you start to like quit and it starts to die out. And a lot of times the momentum that you had that started isn't there when you start, like it's there in the start, but then it's gone. And so the reason why I broke down what motivates you, why you have these barriers and all this kind of stuff is because at the end of the day, you have to make a decision. And decisions is that you're cutting off something. And a lot of the times what you should be doing is cutting off the past, the things that you did before, the lifestyle that you had that led you to where you were, and really focus on the things that are in the future. And I think the thing is that when you have a clear plan, when you're like trying to figure this stuff out on your own, it becomes a little harder and it comes really frustrating because you don't know if you're doing the right things. But once you do that, and a lot of times, picking a coach, even, allowing me to be your coach, it gets to a place where you can actually not have to worry about it. You can get up every day, exactly what you have to do. You don't have to figure it out. When it comes to your nutrition, you know exactly what you need to eat. You have a plan and a strategy, and all you have to do is apply it and put it into your work, into your day. And the real big thing that I tell all my clients is like, do not focus on the weight goal, focus on the habit. Because when you're sitting here and you're having a hard time, if you just do the small thing, take 5 minutes to do something that's going to lead you to your goal, that can create a healthier habit for you. The habit is going to allow you to be more successful in your program than it is to look at a number or to look at yourself in the mirror. Look at the habits in your life. And really, to be honest with you, one of the things I want to tell you, and this can go as far as it is that, if someone like myself, who is an optimistic person, who believes that anyone given the right tools can do anything they ever want in their life, and that you can take full control of your health, your lifestyle, and everything else that's going on with you, you can do that as long as you make the decision and make the commitment. And the reality is that you turn from thinking about the external stuff and start looking at the internal stuff. You start realizing that you are a badass, that you can do anything that you want, that you can overcome the challenges you've had. Now, if you've suffered or you've gone through a lot of things in your life, you may not even know how good it feels to be healthy. But I'm going to tell you right now is as you start to do the right things, most of my clients within that second or third week, they start feeling more energetic because they're working out. They start feeling more energetic and energized because they're eating better. They start feeling less bloated. They start feeling motivated, not because they just want to go. It's because they feel better. It comes from internal, right? They start seeing the fact that this shit works, that it works, and that it's going to allow you to be able to do the things consistently. Will life give its challenge? It's always going to. Is life going to test you? Yes. But when it comes down to it, the reason why it's important to build habits, because habits become easy things. You just do them. But you have to be someone willing to make those changes. You have to be someone committed to wanting to see yourself make those changes and to muster a little bit of energy to overcome those days when you don't feel as motivated. And understand that motivation isn't the reason why you're going to be successful. You are. And if you're thinking to get motivation from external somewhere, it's actually going to come from you. The ones that are going to keep you ingrained and keep you stayed and committed. Those are the things that are going to happen for you that are going to make the difference. And so when I talk about, and the reason why I was like, you know what, when I talked about what is going to motivate you and why is it so hard to find motivation is because we're looking for too many things to pump us up. We get pumped up, we go, and we got to get pumped up every day to go and pumped up every day to go. And if someone is trying to pump you up every day to go and pump you up, it gets exhausting. But the reality is that when you have a goal and you understand that it takes a little bit of discipline, and discipline isn't hard. Discipline is doing little things over and over again. They will build, those disciplines will get better. They will get stronger. So I'm just going to tell you guys right now that if you're struggling right now with motivation and you need some help to figure out how to get started, I'm going to tell you right now, take the time right now in this video and just say, I'm ready. Put in the comments, I'm ready. I will reach out to you. I will give you a free consultation. I will talk to you and I will make it clear that you don't need a motivation. I'll make it clear and show you the pathway, what you need to do to overcome the challenges that are holding you back to becoming the best elite version of you. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna rock with this. This is gonna be my saying from this YouTube channel all the way in, okay? I'm gonna say this over and over again. The best version of you is the most disciplined version of you. And when you become that person, you are unstoppable. You become a fit boss. You become a person of action. You become a person that people desire and see and love to be around because you take care of yourself. They see you lead yourself. They see you overcome the battles. They see and be like, what are you doing? They see your energy change. They see you happier. They see you more focused. They see you more driven because you're healthier. Like the money, the fortune, the wealth, the fame, all that kind of stuff is great. But if you don't have your health, it's gonna suck having all that stuff. But why not have all that and your health? Stop putting yourself behind all these things. Allow yourself be the one. You're the one that's driving it all. If you think that you have to work 10 hours, 12 hours a day to hustle and grind and make your fortune and support your family, great. But what about you? What about the person that they love? What about the person they rely on? What are you doing for yourself? Can you give yourself 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Can you make a commitment to that? That's what you need. It's not about taking the biggest step. You got to lose 50 pounds, 40 pounds. You're not going to lose that in a day. That's what you got to stop focusing on. You got to start thinking about what can I do today to help me lose my first pound? What can I do today that's going to allow me to be healthier and more successful in my fitness journey? What's going to allow me to feel better, less stressed? That's the stuff you got to do. That's what you got to focus on. That's who you got to become. That's who your future self is waiting on to show up. Show up for your future self. Be the man or woman now. Don't wait. Be him or her now. Go after it every single day. Just win the day. Overcome the procrastination and just take a small action. Overcome the doubt, the fear, the confusion. Get a plan, get a coach, get guidance, get some accountability. That's what's going to work. And I guarantee this, if I told you the reason why you go to work every day and the reason why you work so hard every day, because you have someone, family, whomever, depending on you to take care of them. That is accountability. That is making you show up. That is making you go. You have a bigger reason. It's not just about the external stuff because you have people who need to be taken care of, a roof over their head, food on their table. It's deeper than that. That's what's holding you back. That's why you're not having the motivation. Focus on that. But guys, this is what I'm telling you right now. When it's all said and done, if you feel what I'm talking about in terms of like finding the motivation, let me know if you're motivated or provoked to start doing the things you want, because that was my goal in this video, is to make sure you understood, like, yeah, I understand why you might not have a motivation. It's probably because you're looking at the wrong things, don't have the right environment. You have these roadblocks and mental blocks in your life. You have the wrong environment and you just haven't made the commitment and understand the strategy you need to get to the goals. So that being said, I'm reaching my hand out saying, let me help you, let me guide you to help you through your fitness journey and allow you to get to a place that you can start crushing it, becoming the version that you want, and take the steps that are necessary for you to finally overcome the challenge you've had all this time. It's your responsibility, but at the end of the day, you have to make the decision, right? So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna do as much as I can to make sure that I always put a little piece to remind you about things you gotta focus on, hopefully to provoke you, motivate you to do the things that you need to do. But when it's all said and done, if you've liked this video so far, you've been watching it, please subscribe, because at the end of the day, like this video, share this video with someone that you think needs to hear this, but most importantly, reach out to me, take action, stop sitting back waiting to be motivated, take the action will lead to the motivation. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I look forward to you checking out the next video, but thank you so much for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Let's go. Peace.